Hi class, Mrs. Spencer here. I am going to help you guys learn how to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. So first, just above this video, there's another link to a YouTube video that has a catchy little tune that might help you remember the quadratic formula. So kind of check in there first and then use this video to help you learn how to actually solve a quadratic using the formula. So our title here is Solving Quadratics with the Quadratic Formula. The nice thing about the quadratic formula is it always works. So it's not like factoring where sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It always works and it's always used the same way. So you can use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic in this form. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is called standard form. It's all expanded out. All of your terms are on one side and it's set equal to 0 on the other side. This is very important. If it's not set equal to 0, you need to get it set equal to 0, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. If you have a quadratic in this form, then your solutions can be found by using the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. Once again, I know that's a lot to remember, but look at the video up above and there's a catchy little tune that'll help you remember it. So we're just going to go through one example so I can show you how to use this fancy little formula to solve a problem. So example. Let's solve 2x squared minus 3 equals 7x. I'm going to solve this using the quadratic formula. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get it to look like this, meaning we need to get it set equal to 0. My problem here is it's equal to 7x. So in order to move that over, I'm going to subtract 7x on both sides and rewrite my expression that's on the left. Notice I put it in a particular order. I start with my squared term, my linear term, my constant equal to 0. It's in a particular order so that I can very quickly pick out my a, b, and c. Your a value will always be the number that's with the x squared. Your b value is the number with the x, and the c value is the constant number at the end. At this point, then we need to take these numbers and substitute them back into the quadratic formula to find our solutions. The trickiest part is going to be trying not to make an algebra mistake. So I'm going to start with x equals. I have negative b, so I have a negative 7 plus or minus the square root b squared. Now I'm going to put that in parentheses. Remember, when you plug stuff into an equation, it gets plugged in parentheses. Minus 4ac, plugging in both of those values, a and c, all over 2 times a, which is also 2. From here, we're going to be super careful to simplify this. So negative 7 is positive 7, plus or minus square root. Now, this negative 7 squared is 49. I have negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8, times a negative 3, which makes a positive 24. That's negative 8 times a negative 3, that's positive 24, all over 2 times 2, which is 4. I'm going to keep on simplifying. So I have 7 plus or minus the square root. Put these together here, that's 73. And at this point, I want you to find a decimal approximation. So I'm going to take my calculator, and I have a plus or a minus. This means I have two different answers. One of them is when I have 7 plus square root of 73. The other is when I have 7 minus square root of 73. So I have two cases. I'm going to break them up. So we have the positive case, and we have the negative case. So for the positive case, it's 7 plus the square root of 73 all over 4. My calculator, I'm going to figure out what that is. So I'm going to go 7 plus the square root of 73, enter, divided by 4. Notice I did that on 2 lines. That's very important. You will get a different answer if you try and type it in all on 1 line. I get 3.88. X equals 3.8. It's 9, rounds up. We also have a negative answer, the negative case, and this is 7 minus, pulling the minus from here, square root of 73 over 4. Take my calculator, I do 7 minus the square root of 73, enter, divided by 4, and I get negative 0.386, so 739. And those are my 2 solutions. In Algebra 2, when you get down here, you're actually going to simplify your radicals and go from there. But for our geometry's sake, this is great for us. Geometry, we like approximations. It gives us a good visual understanding of how big the numbers are and easier to use. If you have any questions, I will be back on Friday and happy to answer them. Give the worksheet a shot, and thank you for being kind to the sub today. Have a great rest of your day.